Hi guys, welcome to the start of my OWLS Magical Readathon vlog. It's just a little bit before midnight on the 31st of March, so the readathon hasn't actually started yet, but I don't think I'm going to stay up before midnight to start reading then because I'm an old lady and I need my sleep. I thought I would just update you before that happens though, to let you know what's going on with me. I have got a bit of a situation going on because I'm halfway through reading a book at the moment. It doesn't fit with any of the prompts, and also I'm already partway through it, so I couldn't count it even if I wanted to. And that is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This is massively hyped on BookTube and throughout the LGBTQIA reading community. And I really am not enjoying it. I feel like a terrible booktuber for admitting that, but I'm just not enjoying it. And this is now going to be my third attempt at trying to get through it. Originally, I started reading it and then postponed it for the Femme Fantail readathon, and then I postponed it for the Royal Weekender, and now it's OWLs and I'm thinking about postponing it again. So I think if I put it down this time, it may just be a DNF, and I'll just have to admit that this book wasn't for me, which is quite interesting in a way because it does prove that just because a book is LGBTQIA plus themed, that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the book for me. I'll check back in with you guys in the morning and let you know when I've actually started reading for the readathon. Good morning. It is now just after 11 o'clock and I'm still in bed. I mean, I've really been struggling with the motivation to get myself out of bed in the mornings. I blame lockdown. There just seems to be nothing worth getting out of bed for, but at least I have something to do today because I need to start reading for the OWLS. I'm going to kick things off with my potions book because I think if I read a nice short little book first, that'll get me motivated for the rest of the readathon. So I'm going to be kicking things off with Flying High. I'm just going to be sat in my bed, drinking a cup of tea and getting cracking with this tiny, tiny little book, so it shouldn't take me too long to get through. Okay, so I'm only up to page 28 of Flying High by Annie Dalton. For those of you who don't know, this is a children's series of books. It was released in the early 2000s. It's about a girl called Melanie who, the day after her 13th birthday, she dies, goes to heaven and starts training to become an angel, and angels travel through time to various different time periods and deal with any kind of earthly problems that are going on and helping people out. It's a bit of a weird concept for a children's book, but I mean it totally worked for me as a child. Now reading it as an adult, I am slightly cringing in places because it's written very much in a style that is meant to appeal to preteen girls, I suppose, but I mean it's obviously written by an adult, and I don't think I've ever met any teenage girl who speaks like this or who thinks like this, but I'm still having fun with it. One thing that's making me laugh is that each book, the main character Melanie reminds us that when she was on Earth, she didn't pay attention in school, she was a real bimbo, that's her words, real airhead is another word she keeps using to describe herself, and she never tried hard in school, history was always her worst subject. But in each book she always conveniently knows just enough about the time period that they're going to discuss it with the reader and tell us about it. So I mean that's just a bit of a convenient plot device that's been happening so far. I can't remember if it continues to happen in the later books. I have a feeling it does, which is a little bit cringy. But I mean, I'm having fun and I've got to suspend my disbelief. Remember, this is aimed at 12-year-old, 13-year-olds, so I've got to suspend my disbelief and stop reading it as an adult. I just wanted to show this to you guys. My Dagoos are sleeping in their hammock and they look so cute all cuddled up together. So cute. Hi guys, it's a bit later on in the day. It's now about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm up to page 70 of Flying High. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from reading now. Even though I'm still at university, I also earn a bit of extra money by proofreading manuscripts for the publishing company that I used to work with. So I'm going to make some headway on one of those manuscripts now, try and get a bit of proofreading done, and then I'll check in with you guys later. Hey guys, it's now Thursday. It's actually quite late on in the day. It's about 3 o'clock now, gone 3 o'clock. This day's gone by quite quickly, and I'm sorry I haven't updated you before now, but I have been quite busy. I finished a jigsaw puzzle with my mum. We played some bananagrams. Peel. And I did actually finish reading my book. So I have finished reading Flying High by Annie Dalton. That is my first OWLS prompt ticked off. I now have my potions OWL, so that's brilliant, good start. One book in 2 days, even though it was only a tiny little book and I probably could have finished it in 1 day. It's still pretty good going for me. Now I need to start my next book, and I think I'm going to be reading Birthday by Meredith Russo. I realised I didn't actually explain the plot of this in my TBR video, which is very bad behaviour for a booktuber, I know. But from my understanding, it is about 2 people, a boy and a girl called Eric and Morgan. They're born on the same day, at the same time, in the same place, and then they share their birthday every year. This book visits them over 6 birthdays, starting when they're 13 and going on from there. And it's just about how, as they grow up, they start to grow further apart and then presumably closer together again. There's trans rep in this. I believe that Morgan is trans. Yeah, I think so, from what I can make out from the back cover. And I know that there is some quite heavy subject matter in here for self-harm and suicidal ideations. I don't know whether it's actually goes as far as suicidal attempts or just suicidal thoughts, but still that's something that you need to be aware of if you're going into reading this book. I'm not going to give a rating or a proper review for this book because it is a childhood favourite, and so any review I would give would be sort of reflective of that. But what I will say is that my rating on Goodreads is reflective of my enjoyment of the book when I was the appropriate age for the book. So I mean, that shows that I did really enjoy it at the time, even if now I can see it's quite dated in places and not really something that I would particularly go for as a new reader now. But as somebody who enjoyed it a lot the first time around, I have really enjoyed revisiting this series, and I'm actually quite keen to carry on with the series at some point if I can. I don't have much to do for the rest of the day, just be hanging out with my mum. Later on today, Kim Joy and Helena, who are 2 of the people who appeared on the Great British Bake Off, are going to be doing a live baking show on Instagram, so we're going to tune in for that and bake some scones, so I'll show you that as well. Oh, and this is my outfit for the day, which I just think is really cute. Just black top, my old sweater, and some Harry Potter leggings, which is very appropriate for the second day of the OWLS. Okay, the baking is done. This is my first time making scones, and I don't think it went too terribly. I mean, they're a little bit flatter than scones would normally be, but yeah, I think this was a fairly good first attempt. Hey, so we're back in my bedroom for another update. It's now much later on in the day. It's dark outside now, and I'm just about to head out to walk my dog. I've only read about 20 pages of Birthday, liking it so far so good. It's interesting to see something written from this point of view. I'm really liking it. While I'm out on my walk, I will be listening to the audiobook of Goblet of Fire, which is my Care of Magical Creatures choice. Good morning. Good morning, Irene. Is that Irene? Or is that Fleur? Irene, good morning. Good morning, Fleur. Hello, it's Friday. Time for an update. Unfortunately, I don't really have that much to update you on at the moment. I am still only about 20 pages into Birthday. I listened to a tiny bit of the Goblet of Fire audiobook when I was out walking my dog, and that is really about it. This morning when I woke up, I had the choice. I could have read more. I chose to watch booktube videos instead and listen to music, and that's what I've done so far this morning. The drama for this morning is that one of our next door neighbours has decided to put up a new dividing fence, which is fine, that's cool. We're happy to have a new dividing fence as well, but they took down the old dividing fence without telling us, which sounds a bit dumb to me because we have a dog which could have easily gotten out, and they know that we have a dog because he's out in the garden all the time. Fortunately, I spotted it before my mum let the dog out in the garden, but yeah, that was a little bit of drama for this morning. Really, it's cool that they're putting up the fence. It's just, let us know first, guys. Come on, common sense. For the rest of today, my plans are to read more, to get further ahead with my prompts. I need to spend some time on the laptop uploading clips that I already have to my laptop from my phone, which is what I'm filming on. I need to do something about my nails because they're getting really chipped and horrible. So I need to paint those. And yeah, we'll just see where the day takes us. This is the outfit for the day. So just high-waisted jeans, cropped sweatshirt. I love this outfit. We've wheeled the Dagoos through to the living room just so they can have a change of scenery because Dagoos have got very good eyesight, so it's nice for them to be able to see something different, look out on our garden. And I just thought I'd show you what a good boy our dog William is. Here he is, just sitting, chilling. And here are the Dagoos. I should add that we never ever leave William alone with the Dagoos. They're never out of the cage where he could get at them, but he's a very good boy. He loves them. I haven't uploaded my book yet for potions, so here I am just filling that in. There we go, Slithering, potions, flying high. It was 126 pages. Submit. There we go. Hello again, it is now Saturday. I didn't really get round to updating you very much yesterday. Not much happened, certainly not much by the way of reading. I didn't do much reading at all until the evening time. In the daytime, I just hung out with my mum, did a few things around the house, and we started on a new jigsaw puzzle, so I'll probably show you a bit of that later on. In terms of reading, not much reading done throughout the day. And then the evening happened and I went out for a walk with my dog, so I was listening to the Goblet of Fire audiobook again, and then when I got back I got caught up on the illustrated version as well. So I am now up to page, hang on, let me just check, I've got it right here. So I am now up to page 43 of the illustrated version of Goblet of Fire, but that doesn't sound like much, but this is a big book with very large pages, so it's more than it sounds like. And then with Birthday, I am up to page 111. That's including a little bit that I read this morning. Most of that was read last night when I was lying in bed. Instead of going to sleep, I stayed up on the Discord for the Magical Readathon and participated in some sprints that were happening on there. So that was a lot of fun, and I got really far into this, at least a third of the way through now, and really liking it so far. Now for the rest of the day, we don't really have much planned. Again, this is the thing with filming a vlog during isolation. It's not like I can go out anywhere. I can't take you out and show you anything. It is nice weather outside today though, so maybe I'll get to go outside and read if it's actually warm. It might just be sunny but really cold out there. I'll have to wait and see. This is today's outfit of choice. So this t-shirt, which says, if Brittany can make it through 2007, then I can get through today. I absolutely love this t-shirt. I've had it for years and I wear it all the time. And then these trousers, which have like a elephant jungly pattern on them as well, which I love. Okay, I'm reading Goblet of Fire, and can I just say, Harry, a lot less people would question your sexuality if you didn't do things like describe Cedric Diggory as extremely handsome. That's all I'm going to say on that. Also, who's this? Is this meant to be Harry? Or is this meant to be Cedric? I'm not sure. It must be Cedric. He's not wearing glasses. It's Cedric. Okay. That's not really quite how I pictured him. But okay, sure. Okay, so I'm back in my bedroom again. I'm just getting set up because there are some things that I need/want to do on the laptop at the moment. And usually I use my phone for the internet, not my laptop. But I need to go through my university emails and update my diary. This is my physical diary, this little Cath Kidston one with hedgehogs all over, because I love hedgehogs. But I need to go through and update that, because now that we're off of uni sort of semi-indefinitely, none of the information in there is correct, because I've got things in there like when my exams were, and they've changed. Oh gosh, that light is suddenly really bright. There we go. It's gone back behind a cloud again. Yeah, my schedule has completely changed because of the coronavirus, so I need to update that, put in all of my study days, my online revision days, all of that. And then I'm going to do some writing on the laptop. I write fan fiction as well as my own original writing, and I need to finish this fan fiction chapter that I'm working on. And I might voice chat with one of my best friends while I'm doing that as well. Look at that sunset, guys. It's beautiful. It's really not doing it justice on here. It's like a lovely pinky colour, but that is a beautiful sunset. But with that beautiful sunset, it means that we are coming towards the end of another day. Not necessarily the end of my reading day though, because I do plan on reading throughout the evening and in bed tonight. That phone call to my friend earlier on lasted much longer than I thought it would. We ended up speaking for about 2 hours. What can I say? We're deprived of each other's company right now, and we're just both missing each other a lot. So I think that was justified break from reading. I also managed to get a lot of writing done as well and sorted out my diary, so it has been a bit of a productive evening. Right now, I'm going to go out on a dog walk, listen to my audiobook, and then I'll catch up with the illustrated version when I get home. So, do any of you want to try and get reading done when you've got a massive boxer dog sat on you? He still thinks he's a puppy. You a puppy? You a puppy? Good boy. Hey, it's Sunday. I'm sorry that I don't look my best at the moment, and I'm still in my dressing gown and pyjamas. I haven't actually been for a shower yet. I have been up. I had bagels for breakfast, which were delicious. Played with my dog, which you saw a clip of. And I haven't really done much else. But I did realise that I may be pretty pants at this vlog. It is my first, so maybe go easy on me for that. But I realised that I haven't actually been telling you what my thoughts have been on the books that I've been reading. I was going to read a little bit more last night. That didn't happen. I ended up taking loads of BuzzFeed quizzes instead. I took one to see which Good Omens character I'm most like, and apparently I'm most like Gabriel, which I am still so mad about. I am nothing like Gabriel, okay? Gabriel's a bastard. And then I took another one to find out which Weasley brother I would date. I got George. I was a little bit annoyed that I didn't get Charlie, but then two of my friends in two separate chats got Percy, and I realised that I actually got off quite lightly. And then I spent some time going over Harry Potter chat-up lines, and more specifically Percy Weasley chat-up lines with a bunch of my friends in different chats. So that was fun. That's how I spent my Saturday night. I mean, this is the lockdown life that we're living at the moment. So let me just tell you a little bit more of my thoughts on the books that I'm reading. Birthday by Meredith Russo, still really enjoying this. There's still quite a lot of content in here which deserves trigger warnings for various different reasons. Pretty much every trigger warning that I can think of up at this point, or a lot of them at any rate. I'll go through that more later, as I said. There's a couple of little issues that I have with this, mostly that the storytelling keeps focusing on aspects that I have very little interest in aspects such as, I'm going to put the book down for a moment, in aspects such as American football. I have no interest in American football. I have no interest in reading about American football, and I certainly have no interest in reading pages of description of a single game of American football being played and what this person is doing in their maneuvers on the field. I don't care. So I'm just skipping over those pages. It leads there to be pages and pages that I'm just skipping over. Likewise, I'm not a big music buff. I don't really know lots about music. I usually just listen to the same few songs over and over again on repeat, and then half of those are musical theatre songs. So when the author is mentioning a specific band or a specific song, I don't know whether that's a band that I'm supposed to have heard of. Are the lyrics relevant? If a character is singing along to it and they haven't actually got the lyrics in text, I don't know that song, nor am I going to go and look it up. Maybe I should do, maybe that would be the sensible option, but I just don't do that. So I feel like I'm maybe missing out on it there. But that's just two very minor things in this book. Other than that, really, really liking it. And as for the illustrated edition of Goblet of Fire, I have got it on the floor, but I don't really want to pick it up because it's incredibly heavy and my arms will get tired. But you guys know that I love Harry Potter. It's always going to have a special place in my heart. And you know that I absolutely adore the illustrated editions. I'm saying you don't know. You've only just met me on here. It's fine. But yeah, I do love those illustrated editions. I think they're absolutely stunning. The artist does such a good job of portraying the characters and bringing them to life. But I do have a slight issue with this book. So yeah, this is the first book compared to the fourth book. So you can see obviously the difference in size there. Goblet of Fire is 636 pages compared to 223 for Philosopher's Stone. So the amount of time that Philosopher's Stone takes, those number of pages in Goblet of Fire, they're not even at Hogwarts yet. So basically what I'm trying to say is that in order to stop the illustrated editions getting to be absolutely colossal books that nobody could possibly carry, and also just the printing cost on that, the cost on the book would have to be so astronomical. So what they've done, instead of perhaps splitting it into two books, is they have reduced the number of illustrations per page. And I think that's a real shame because it's an illustrated edition. In my head, I want pretty much every single page to have at least some illustration on there, and we don't get that because some of them are just taken up with text. I know that was the case in the previous books, but I've noticed it more so with Goblet of Fire. I think it would have been better if they had split it into two books. I would have bought two, like volume 1, volume 2, and I don't know how they're going to keep it on because the books keep on getting bigger. I think I'm right in saying that Order of the Phoenix is the longest book by page count. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have even got them on my shelves, but I just can't be bothered to go and fetch them off the shelves. But yeah, I think Order of Phoenix is the longest. And I don't know how they're going to do that for the illustrated edition. I really hope they don't condense it too much because there's certain aspects that I really want to see. My brother has read the illustrated editions and he said that they still haven't included a lot of Christmas at Hogwarts, which is something that was missing from the first 3 books. And that is always such a magical time when I'm reading the books. That's my favourite part of any Harry Potter book, is Christmas at Hogwarts. It's so magical and it's so beautiful. But obviously that magicalness gets reduced the later on we get in the books because the books are getting more dark and serious. So now it feels like we've almost missed out on seeing that in the illustrated editions. I'm guessing there's going to be Yule Ball content when I get to that point, but just the actual like Gryffindor common room, feast in the Great Hall, we're never going to see that in the illustrated editions now, and it really, yeah, I just feel like that's a missed opportunity there. Oh yeah, one thing I always like seeing in other people's vlogs is what they're eating and drinking, you know, their reading snacks, all of that, what fuels them. And so I thought I'd show you that I'm drinking tea out of my amazing mug with a camel on it. I love camels, by the way, they're incredible creatures. And yep, there's the tea. It is in fact biscuit flavoured tea, which I've only gotten into drinking recently and I love it. And now I'm not going to be able to get any more for a while because it's at the shops that we can't get to. It is such a lovely day outside. I can't believe it. We're only just in April now and the sun is shining. It is so warm out there. I've just spent most of late this morning, early afternoon, sat out in the garden. I've been reading. I ate my lunch out there. So yeah, that's how I've spent most of my Sunday afternoon. It's been great. I am slightly concerned now because with this nice weather, it's probably going to be encouraging loads of people to flout the social distancing rules and go out to the beach or to the park or whatever. And that worries me a lot, not just because of the whole fact that they're spreading the virus around, but the government have said that their next step will be to ban all forms of outdoor exercise, just completely no outdoor exercise for anybody. And that really worries me. I have a dog and I don't know how that will work if we are confined just to our garden. I mean, we do have a nice garden, but even so, exercising a large dog in just a garden isn't ideal, to say the least, I think. And I'm not at any point doubting that these measures are necessary. They 100% are necessary. Don't get me wrong, but just the more rules and things that are being imposed upon us by the government, whether or not they are good or bad, it just makes me feel more and more like I am living in some horrible dystopian novel like The Hunger Games or 1984 or something. I just feel really, I don't know, I can't express it. I don't know if that's a feeling that a lot of people are having right now, but it's certainly something that has been on my mind a lot. So yeah, that's worrying. But anyway, I didn't want to sorry to bring this video down a little bit. It certainly wasn't my intention, but that's just the life that everybody is living at the moment. I've read quite a bit more of Birthday. I'm now up to what page am I up to? 171. So this is I'm just now up to their 16th birthday, if you've read the book. This book is making me feel a lot of things. I don't know whether this is going some way to making me feel so on edge, but I mean, it's good that it makes me feel so strongly. But yeah, that's what this book is making me feel, so many things at the moment. And I can certainly see why this was such an impactful book for so many people and a really important book. And so many people could see themselves expressed in a way that they so rarely see themselves represented. Let me know what you think of the hairstyle, by the way. I'm just trying out something new with a headscarf, my hair in bunchies. Let me know if this is working for you. Yeah, but this is my outfit for the day. I am feeling exceedingly gay and fabulous. Good morning, or in fact, good almost afternoon. It's now 11 o'clock on Monday. I cannot believe how quickly this week has gone. It is just flying by, and it's nearly time for me to stop filming this vlog and start editing this vlog. I have no idea how long that's going to take me because I've never done a vlog before, but we're not there yet. Last night was not very fun for me, to say the least. I've been having sort of like this low-level building panic all day, and last night it kind of kicked into full effect and I was feeling really rough. I was shaky, I could hardly walk, my head was spinning. So I just took myself off to bed, couldn't sleep, obviously, in that state. So I stayed up late, I wrote fan fiction, I didn't get much reading done because my head wasn't in the right space for it. Now today, I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done because I have a few things I need to do online for university. I have an online Zoom meeting with all of my classmates and my university lecturers. And then that's this afternoon. And then in the evening, I have an online revision session as well. So I'm going to be taking part in both of those. I may not film anything during the sessions because, you know, confidentiality of all the other members of my class and the lecturers, but we'll see how that goes. One thing I do want to show you is that yesterday I made jokes about the possibility of me getting sunburn on the first nice day of the year. But come with me to the bathroom and I'll show you why it's no longer so funny. Just look at my arm. This comes from just sat reading in the garden. Like, I wasn't sunbathing or anything. This isn't even as bad as it was last night when I first realised it was sunburn. I mean, that shows you a bit more. That's my natural skin tone, pale, 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 and then burn. But anyway, I have my bath all done. I'm going to sit and read Birthday while I'm in the bath. And I've put some nice soothing milk bath in there as well, so that should help. This is what I'm wearing today. My pusheen crop top, high waist jeans, and a shirt over the top because it is colder today, even though the sun is still shining, and I need to keep that sunburn covered up. I also repainted my nails. I've gone for rainbow colours this time. Different colour on every nail, apart from the thumbs, which match. I'm going to have to talk quick because I've got less than 10 minutes before my Zoom meeting starts and I really don't want it to start when I'm in the middle of filming. I'm just keeping one eye on the computer just in case it does. But yeah, I'm all set up in the spare bedroom. We don't have a desk in here, but this is where I've made my sort of temporary study at home office. It just gives me somewhere else to go so I'm not working from my bedroom. I've got my lunch here, I've got a drink, and I've got the laptop set up and I'm all ready to go. Here's my lunch, pasta and sauce. So the meeting's now over. I don't want to say it went exactly well because nobody has any answers, but it's the sort of questions that we want answered that nobody has the answers to at the moment. There is the possibility that my graduation could be delayed as a result of this and as a result of me not being able to go back into practice. Even if they were to allow it at this moment in time, I personally wouldn't be able to go due to family circumstances and self-isolating for 12 weeks. But this is just one of those things, we're just going to have to wait and see. It's changing so much, the current situation is changing so much every day at the moment that nobody can predict what's going to happen tomorrow. They certainly can't let us know how things are going to be a few weeks or a few months from now. I don't really know what to do with myself for the rest of this evening now until my online revision session. I might try and read a little bit, try and keep myself calm so I don't end up in the same state as I did last night. It's now 7:30 and time for another revision session. The lighting is just awful on this video at the moment, but then again it is 8:30 at night, so I have no natural lighting. I'm just working with the light in my bedroom, so apologies for that. I've just finished my second online session of the day. This one was via Adobe Connect and we didn't have to have our webcams on, so that's why I've gotten all snuggled up in my dressing gown and gotten into some more comfy clothes. Just about to head down for dinner now. My plans for tomorrow have completely changed from what they once were. I did have plans tomorrow to have a online session with just a few of the girls from my university course. We're just going to have a bit of a revision session in the afternoon, nice easy morning, and then that. Now we suddenly have a online university session with our entire class and our lecturer, which only half of the class knew about. I was in the half that did not know, so I was completely unaware of that until it was sprung on me today at about 3 o'clock. So that's all new. And then in that session just now, they were talking about there could even potentially be another revision session going on tomorrow evening, which none of us knew about until right now. So everything's up in the air. I don't know what my plans are for tomorrow, and I don't know where that leaves me in terms of time to read or even time to think, eat, sleep, any of those things. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. In terms of my reading, I am so close to finishing Birthday. I'm up to page 272, and so there's only about 30 pages left, not even that. I could very easily get through this tonight, which I didn't anticipate happening. I'd really thought that this was going to be another couple of days before I finished it, but suddenly I've just got a real reading spurt on and I've managed to cover a lot of ground. So I will hopefully finish that tonight. I'll keep you updated if I do, and I'll let you know my plans for tomorrow when I know my plans for tomorrow. Good morning. It is already Tuesday, so that's happened. Somehow the entire week has gone past already. But I'm up. It is 9:34 and I'm just getting ready to log on for another online lecture back in the spare bedroom again, where I seem to spend most of my time at the moment. My dog is very, very interested in whatever is going on in here, and he keeps sniffing around the door frame. I just keep hearing his heavy breath right there, but I can't let him in because he'll be all over the bed and over the computer and trying to see what I'm doing and listening to who I'm talking to. Getting up this morning seemed obscenely early to be getting up, even though it's significantly later than I would have to get up normally. I had to get up at 8 this morning to make sure I was ready for the meeting, but normally if I was at university I would have to be on the train for 8:45, and if I was on placement at the hospital I have to be at work ready to start at 7:45, so I have to be up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've gotten to the point where that felt quite normal. But now getting up at 8 o'clock and then not even rising from my bed until nearly 9 o'clock just to jump in the shower, get dressed and get onto the computer, that seemed ridiculously early to be getting up. But I know that that's just how it is at the moment for a lot of people. I've got my breakfast here. I've got my coffee, so I'm going to try and eat this quickly before the meeting starts because I don't really want to be eating over Zoom. I don't think that's very professional. Not that my lecturer would probably care. She'd be fine if we'd all turned up in our pyjamas, which I'm waiting to see how many of the girls on my course are in their pyjamas. Probably quite a few. I do have some book-related updates for you though, because last night I finished reading Birthday by Meredith Russo. I never thought I would finish reading 2 books in 1 week. That is just incredible. You have no idea how rare that is for me to finish 2 books in 1 week, even though one of them was only that skinny little Annie Dalton book. But I still, I never read books that quickly, so that shows that A, lockdown is at least conductive for me carrying on reading because I have so much spare time on my hands, and B, that must have been 2 quite good books for me to get through. I really hope I can keep up this motivation for the rest of the OWLS. I'll check in with you after my meeting, give you my full update on what I thought of Birthday, give you my full thoughts there. But for now, I've got to get on, eat my breakfast and take part in a lecture. So I'll see you then. My online lecture is now over and done with, so I have the rest of the day to myself now. I really enjoy the online lectures where they use Zoom as opposed to Adobe Connect, because we all have our webcams on during the Zoom lectures and meetings, because then we can all see each other, we can all chat and interact, and it's as close to being in university as we can actually get at the moment, so that's really nice to see everybody and be able to talk to people. But I'm here to give you a little bit of a wrap up because I think I'm going to be ending my vlog here because it is now the 7th. So to start off with, I read Flying High by Annie Dalton, 4 Potions, childhood favourite, still enjoyed it today, bit of a guilty pleasure, but still enjoyable to it. And then I surprised myself and probably everybody else who knows me by reading a second book in under a week, and that was Birthday by Meredith Russo. This book hurt me so much and I just can't get over it. There are so many trigger warnings in this book. We've got trigger warnings for homophobia, for transphobia, internalised hatred, and internalised homophobia and transphobia. We've got bullying, alcoholism, what else is there in here? Suicide attempts, self-harm, and one thing that I was unaware of before I started reading this book is this does include and deal with the loss of a parent due to cancer. If I had known that going into this book, I maybe wouldn't have picked it up because that is a subject that's just a little bit too close to home at the moment. So that's something to be aware of. I know it's difficult because they can't put every little part of the book on the back cover because you need something to discover as you're reading it. But I just would have appreciated a heads up from that. I'm sure other people have mentioned this in their reviews of this book, but I was unaware of it. With that being said, even with all of that heartbreak and angst that's going on within that book, I still really enjoyed it. I still found it incredibly quick to get through, and I wanted to get through it so quickly because I wanted to make sure that the characters had a happy end. What was going to happen? Would they get together? I wanted to find that out, and so I flew through it really, really quickly, even the parts that were incredibly difficult to read. And in addition to those two books, I am listening to the audiobook of Goblet of Fire. That will be for my Care of Magical Creatures prompt. And I am currently, how many pages? 73 pages into the illustrated edition, which I'm reading alongside the audiobook. The audiobook's on my iPod and it doesn't do percentages. It's a really old iPod, so it doesn't do percentages, so I can't let you know what percentage I am through the audiobook. But page 73 of the illustrated edition. And for those of you who are interested, the Quidditch World Cup has begun and they're partway through the match. So I'm going to leave things here for this week. I really hope you have enjoyed watching this vlog. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see in my next vlog, if there's any ways I can improve this. This is my very first time completing a vlog. I have attempted to do it a couple of times in the past and not got very far with it. So let me know what I can improve upon, what you'd like to see more of or less of in these vlogs. And also let me know if you are taking part in the OWLS readathon. Let me know what you are currently reading, what subject you're currently working towards. Let me know also which subjects you have already completed. If you're not taking part in the OWLS, still let me know what you are reading so far this month and if you are enjoying it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye!